I think those of us who are really caring, especially caring professionals, but I think all of us who are compassionate, we're the worst people to know how to psychologically and spiritually feed ourselves. I think it's almost like we eat whatever comes along. I think that what I call that famous philosopher who died several years back, Irma Bombeck, the humorist, she said that she thought that any man that watched 3 football games in a row should be declared legally dead. The reality is that we feed ourselves with TV, we feed ourselves with, inane things rather than really seriously looking at what elements nourish us. I learned this from a longtime friend. I hadn't seen him in years. We were both born and raised in New York City, and I went one way, he went another. You know how it is. And he called me up. I was still in my 30s at the time when he called, and he said, "Bob, how are you doing? What's up?" And I said, "Oh, I'm doing great. I'm involved in working with physicians and nurses and other helpers on taking care of themselves, and now also trying to take those same principles and help people in general. And I'm way in over my head, but I love it." And I'm blabbing on because I love what I do. And then I said, "And how are you doing?" And he said, "Well, I'm dying." I said, "You're dying? We're only in our 30s. What do you mean you're dying?" He said, "I have astrocytoma. I have a rare form of brain cancer." He said, "My mother thinks I'm going to get a miracle, but Bob, when you're dying, you know you're dying, and I'm dying." He then asked me a question that haunts me till today. He said, "Bob, what good things are you doing in your life?" And I went through this list of accomplishments, and he said, No, not that." I said, "What, Fred?" He said, "Tell me about the quiet walks you take by yourself each day." Now, that may not seem like much, but depression and activity don't like to live together. And we feel a grayness at the end of the day because of poor oxygen exchange in buildings like this. A short walk can make all the difference. He said, "What good movies have you seen that have woken you up, or books that you've read, or museums that you belong to that you visited so that you could realize the world is bigger than yourself?" He said, "Who is in your circle of friends?" And I think we need 4 people in our circle of friends. The prophet that says, "What voices are guiding you?" The cheerleader that is sympathetic and encouraging. The harasser or teaser, because on the way to taking compassion seriously, sometimes we do a detour and take ourselves too seriously. And finally, the inspirational friend who calls us to be all that we can be without embarrassing us that we are where we are. A self-care protocol is the right stimulation, the right support, the right things that have us laugh at things. And unless we put those pieces together in a self-care protocol intentionally, our self-care will disappear, and so will the resilience for our compassion.